Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm discussing all the reveals from the latest Hasbro Pulse Transformers fan stream. We actually got the reveal of the Transformers Legacy Evolution Wave 3. So I'm going to start with a few notes before we get into the figures. So they did show the Titan class Nemesis. I'm going to do an entire separate video just discussing that figure. So unfortunately they did show it, but it was actually just a prototype. There were several pieces that were unfinished. They were like blue plastic. Of course, he's probably going to be mostly purple and black and dark colors. So it was very unfinished. They didn't even show the accessories or the box. So still in a prototype stage, and they said they were going to reveal that, or of course post it on Hasbro Pulse a little bit later in May. They didn't say a specific date, but they just said in May. So whenever they post that, I will make sure to do a video on the Titan class Nemesis. They also did show the Commander class Armada Optimus Prime, which really came to no surprise because there's been reviews, leaked images, stolen copies pretty much everywhere. So no surprise there. Unfortunately, that's the same case as the Titan class, not available for pre-order just yet, but actually good enough. They did actually say a specific date and release date when we can buy it. That should be up for pre-order on the 18th, they said, of April, so 2 weeks from today. So whenever they do post that, it'll probably be some sort of Transformers Tuesday, just like a one release thing, like they did with Shatterglass Grimlock just about a week ago. They just released that figure and that was it. So 2 weeks from today, which is also a Tuesday, they will post that most likely at 12 p.m. Central Time, or of course 1 Eastern Time. So whenever they post that, I'll do a separate video on that as well. But that's pretty much all the news I wanted to talk about. Again, I'll do a separate video on the Titan class whenever there's better images. Right now, I think it's just a bit too soon. There's really not that many images out there on the news site, so I'm going to wait a little bit to do that. But let's talk about these figures on Hasbro Pulse right now. So, let's start with the core class figures. So I'm not going to spend that much time on Scarr and Swoop because if you don't already know, I actually did do a video on these two figures and Shatterglass Grimlock a while back. I think in maybe February or late January. These kind of leaked or slash revealed. Hasbro was just like, yes, these do exist and they'll be available for pre-order a little bit later. So I did already talk about these briefly, so I'm not going to spend that much time on them. So of course the basic information: release date is August 1st, 2023. Price is $12, so a typical price for a core class figure. And of course, we actually only have one Dinobot left, a part of the Volcanicus Commander, since we of course have Swoop and Scarr here. We only have Snarl left, which will mostly come out in Legacy Evolution Wave 4. So let me just give you my thoughts. I actually do quite like it. I love the silver and the gold. Really like the head sculpt. He seems to be pretty chunky and big. He's supposed to form one of the arms. I'm not entirely sure if it matters. Maybe this is kind of going to be kind of customizable. Maybe you can actually have him be the left or right. I'm not really sure if there's an assigned certain arm to do. I really don't know. But I like it. There's some really cool spikes on the front of the legs and the side. Of course, we do the little dino legs sticking out, which that really doesn't bother me that much. Unfortunately, it does seem to carry the same problem that he had with his other Dinobots. Is unfortunately there's quite a bit of very boring kind of dark gray plastic. That was my main complaint with the past Dinobots, with Grimlock, Slug, or Slag, or Sludge. All those, unfortunately, just had too much unfinished, unpainted gray. It was a good figure. There's some really nice sculpting. There's some really nice wiring and mechanical detailing. I liked Grimlock. I liked all of them. They're really good figures. They're fun. But there was definitely more need for some more paint-ups, more painting, more details. And unfortunately, this figure does appear to have that same problem. I'm still gonna get it. It still looks like a very fun figure, of course. These are core class figures. I'm not nearly as picky on these figures as say Deluxes and Leaders and Voyagers, so I do cut a little bit of slack on problems like these. I do like the dinosaur mode. I'm not entirely sure what exact dinosaur this is. If you do know, let me know in the comment section down below. Or this could be made up. I really don't know. But really cool spikes on the back. I actually really like this mode. Definitely seems pretty chunky. He actually does appear to have some articulation at the legs. As you can see, there's some mushroom pegs there. So you can probably have a bit of articulation at the legs. So you can have him running in battles if you want to. I do like the sort of beak bird face skull they did there. That actually looks really interesting. Like the gold, the Autobot symbol, the blue for the eyes. Not entirely sure if his mouth can open or close. It would be nice. I would really like that feature. Unfortunately, Grimlock did not have that feature, so I'm probably thinking this one doesn't as well. He does have his blaster, which appears can be stored on the back like near his tail, which of course you can remove it if you want to. Also, he does have a 360 video, so I'm just going to say now, all of the figures that have the 360 videos I will be posting on my channel in the shorts section on Thundertron Reviews. So if you don't want to, go to Hasbro Pulse every single time you want to see them, just go to my channel and they'll be there. They should be up on the channel right now or should be up very, very soon. So make sure you go check those out. And just kind of a close-up of his chest, we have another really cool battle pose. He's holding his weapon there, which I assume is Blastovic piece compatible. And another angle or view of the alternate mode. Of course, we have a few stock photos here looking pretty cool. And then we have the box, which I think looks really cool. His mouth is open, really in a dynamic kind of running pose. I think that looks super cool. Classic, core class packaging. Then on the back, he transforms in 9 steps. He has 4 of the 6 Dinobots, so we only need 1 more. As I said, only need Snarl, and then we've completed Volcanicus. Really looking forward to that. And then that is pretty much it for Scarr. He's still available for pre-order. Let me know your thoughts on this core class in the comment section down below. I did order him, so let's actually move on to his other core class brethren, which is Swoop. I have to say this probably is going to be my favorite of the core class Dinobots so far. Of course, Snarl could change my mind. I don't know. I might be slightly biased because Swoop has actually always been my favorite of the Dinobots. Period. Just design, concept-wise, always been my favorite. Whatever size he is, but. Of course, basic information release date is August 1st, 2023. The price is $12. He's actually still available for pre-order. And I think he actually looks really cool. So, of course, love the silver for the face, the blue for the eyes, love the huge kind of spike sticking out the back of his head. That's very classic for Swoop to have. And, of course, they have some silver for the forearms. Of course, people will complain that the wings are kind of that unfinished gray plastic. It actually personally doesn't bother me in this situation because I think they didn't want to have the wings silver for probably several reasons. They didn't want the paint to chip because it does appear that these wings do fold up for transformation. Or maybe they didn't want to do too much silver because, as you can see, of course, there's some silver on the face, the legs, the feet. So I think maybe they didn't want to put too much silver because it would be a bit repetitive and too bright and shiny. That's just my thought. Maybe there's some other reason. I don't know. I do like the bird face or kind of bird beak there with the Autobot symbol and the gold and the blue. All really like that. And we do have a close-up of the chest, so I do have a problem here. Hopefully this is mistransformed or maybe they'll change it. I do have to say most of the time with these brand new reveals after live streams or Transformers Tuesdays, usually I do expect some aspect of the figure to be mistransformed. So if you see this and you're really bummed out, I'm just going to say it could possibly be mistransformed, or maybe they'll change it a little bit later on. So hopefully they kind of paint that ugly gray hinge, because that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb to me. I'm hoping maybe they're going to paint it like a different color, like gold or something better, or maybe it's mistransformed and the beak will end up covering up that hinge, because as it is, it does not look the greatest. And again, of course, we have the 360 video that should be on the channel pretty soon. So make sure you go check that out. And of course, we have his pterodactyl mode actually looking very cool. And again, the wings are on that kind of unfinished gray. But in this situation, it really doesn't bother me. I do like the silver and the red on this back section here. Those are obviously, of course, the legs. That was to be expected. And we do have the little blasters. They actually store on the wings. So interesting enough, in this photo, the weapons are black. But in a stock photo, they're actually done in that kind of unfinished whitish gray plastic. So personally, I'm actually going to go by this image because this is an in-hand photo. Of course, the other one is kind of a computer-generated, stock photo, so definitely very inaccurate. So I'm gonna go off this. Hopefully, they actually stay black and we don't get, with those unfinished kind of grayish weapons. I really wouldn't like that. And we do have a photo of him holding him, again done in that black, but overall look pretty cool. And these pieces here are supposed to form the hand. So, of course, Swoop and Scarr will form the arms, either the left or right. Again, I'm not really sure if there's a specific side you need to pick. So, of course, like the legs, with Grimlock, he can actually go on either side. I don't really think it particularly matters. So maybe this will be customizable as well. I do not know. And then moving into those stock photos, as you can see, I mentioned, fortunately, they're actually done that kind of unfinished grayish white. So hopefully this was just kind of a, unfinished picture, or, they didn't decide for what the weapons to be painted yet. Hopefully this is not what we're going to get. And then, of course, we have some images of the packaging. He transforms in 6 steps. This is the 5 of 6 of the Volcanicus, so 1 more to go. That is pretty much it for Swoop, of course. Let's actually move on to the Deluxes, and Swoop is still available for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse. So Deluxes, we have Beachcomber, so of course, release is August 1st, 2023. The price is $25, pretty standard price for a Deluxe class figure, and it's kind of funny how they actually added Paradise Parakeet. So this figure actually comes with a bird. I think it's a reference to the Golden Lagoon episode. Sorry, I can't say that. And of course, if you don't know the episode, he went to like this kind of sanctuary, this like really nice land. There was animals, the whole lake of went in it. I'm just gonna give a brief description. If you went in the lake, you pretty much became invincible, and there was a ton of animals there, and pretty much Beachcomber is kind of a pacifist. He does not like to fight, so that's why they included this bird, just kind of a nod to that episode, which I kind of like, but I have to say, in my personal opinion, I probably don't even need the bird. Probably what I'll end up doing is whenever I get this figure, I'm going to probably keep the bird in the box or in a bag somewhere in storage because I don't think I'm ever going to display with it. It's a nice nod to the show, but not for me. So, of course, images wise, we have the robot mode. Definitely very accurate. I really like this. I've actually been wanting a Beachcomber for so long. I actually have one from, I think it was like Time's Return or Power of the Primes. It was like a Legends class figure. Of course, the core class size was not invented or around yet, so it was like Legends or some warrior size. It was something like that. I thought that figure was pretty good. There was some problems, of course. Definitely, it was very, compromised because they wanted to do the whole Titan Master Power of the Prime gimmick. So there was a huge hole in the pretty much in the inside of the figure. So it was kind of empty, not as good as I was hoping. But this definitely is an improvement. Of course, it's a deluxe now, and I do quite like it. So really nice silver for the visor. Love that chest with the really cool kind of pipes or almost engine block on his chest. I do like that. And the wheels. Apparently, they're made out of like a PVC, so like a rubbery, type of material, which is kind of interesting. They typically don't do that. I do like the headlights, the floodlights on the legs. Not a big fan how they're made of that gray plastic. I'm hoping maybe they'll change that to be a silver. Not a big fan of that, but I do like the figure. Very G1-y, very simple, but looks so cool. He actually does have a really cool machine gun, which you can store on the top. Also, rumored is, I'm not sure if they're going to show this image, but it also can store and form the front grille section. So if you don't understand, kind of like Crankcase, and Legacy Evolution, Legacy Wave 3, his pistol would actually form the front grille of the car. So kind of a nice option there if you want to. And again, it does have a 360 video, but that will be on my channel if you don't always want to go to Hasbro Pulse. And there is that feature, you can have the bird kind of perched on his shoulder, which again is nice. I don't really think I'm ever going to display it that way. I'll show it, of course, whenever I get this figure, I'll show that feature in the review, but probably that'll be the only time I'm ever going to use that feature or that accessory. But that is pretty much it. Of course, just a couple more battle poses here and there. And if you want to, you can actually display the bird, the parakeet, on the back of the vehicle mode if you want to, which I guess is a nice feature. And then we do have the packaging, which this looks really, really nice. I like how the lights just kind of glow a huge kind of yellow, which is a bit unfortunate because on the figure itself, the headlights, they're that ugly, boring gray. There's no gold or silver, so they kind of added further insult to injury. So hopefully maybe they'll change that. But I do like the artwork. That looks really, really nice. And he transforms in 11 steps. His evil fusion gimmick is, of course, the whole, kind of combining weapon thing. It becomes a grill and a machine gun, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. And that is pretty much it for Beachcomber. Still available for pre-order if you were interested. So let's actually move on to the next deluxe class. This is actually one we were sort of told about in the last live stream, and this one's actually sold out, which I'm kind of not surprised. So a brief, background or description. So in the last live stream, they did a little bit of, I think they called it like Space Bridge leaks or something like that. It was just talking about figures that will happen in the next wave, that are like confirmed, like yes, this does exist. And they talked about DevCon. I'm actually not super familiar with this character. I do apologize if that's like an insult. I'm really not that familiar. If you know a lot about him, please do leave a whole background in the description or in the comments if you want to. You don't have to. I'm just not that familiar. Maybe I just forgot. I'm pretty sure he's in the G1 show. I just haven't watched that show in quite a while. But of course, the basic information, the release date is August 1st, 2023, and as you can see, it is sold out. The price is $25. And of course, this is a mainline, so if you're bummed about not being able to get on Hasbro Pulse, I'm assuming it's on like Earth Entertainment, Bega Toy Store, all those other sites. Of course, not sponsored, just letting you know. But I actually really do like the look of this. So apparently, this is a retool repaint of the Stu Series 86 Blur mold, which I'm very shocked because I can barely tell if there's actually any reused pieces. That's what I heard. That's what they said in the live stream. It's a reuse of the 86 Blur, which I actually do not have the original 86 Blur mold, so that might be why. I do have the Shatterglass Blur, which of course that is a repaint remold as well. So this appears to be a very extensive remold, which is I'm fine with. I mean, I can barely even tell, so I'm fine with. We do have his alternate mode here, which actually looks super cool. Love the huge boosters on the back. Unsure if those are removable or not. And then, of course, kind of a hovercraft type of vehicle. The huge blaster at the front there. Love the shade of blue, kind of a turquoise light blue they used, and the silver and the red. Overall, really do like this mold, this figure here. I do see some similarities with the arms. You can obviously tell the arms are attached to the side there. That's pretty similar to Blur, where his arms end up. So I can see that. And we do have the full 360 video again that will be on my channel if you want to go check that out. And yeah, he does appear to be quite simple in design, but I actually really like this figure. I did order this one before it was sold out, which is good. I do like the Autobot symbol on the chest and the silver. Love all the red. And yeah, overall appears to be very G1-y, very cool looking in my opinion. Yeah. Picture-wise, that's pretty much it. They're kind of just repeating with the stock photos. So let me move to the packaging. So as you can see, the packaging, really like that cool shot of him and his hovercraft, kind of starship mode with the huge rocket boosters there blasting into battle. And we have the back. It transforms in 13 steps. So the Evo Fusion gimmick is, as I predicted, you can remove those huge rocket boosters and attach them to his weapon and kind of customize it and store them in multiple different ways. And that is pretty much it for DevCon. Unfortunately, he is sold out right now, but sometimes they actually bring him back in stock. So I would monitor that, kind of look at that. I'll look at that off and on. Now for the next selects, I have to say this one is kind of disappointing. I don't want to get too negative, but I think they went a little cheap. So this is actually another figure we were told about and kind of leaked about in the last live stream. They said we're going to get another Junkion called Axlegrease, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And correct me if I'm wrong, I thought we were going to get a Voyager Junkion, but I guess maybe I misheard that. Maybe that was some wrong information. I don't know. But I was pretty excited, and I thought it was going to be a brand new mold, but then they revealed this. So yes, this is a remold of the original Scraphook figure, which I think is a pretty good Junkion. But I have to say, they've only made 2 Junkions so far, with Crash Bar and Scraphook. I don't think they need to already start making repaints and remolds. Yes, there's quite a few molded pieces, or a lot of new molded pieces. There's some accessories that they actually took from other figures and added them here, which is pretty cool. I'm fine with it. It looks cool, but I think they probably should have put this in a selects line, or maybe they should have put it in an exclusive pack, maybe an Amazon exclusive, or maybe a Buzzworthy Bumblebee, something like that. I think they could have done a little better. I think they should have put in a more interesting figure, because I know we're supposed to be getting a Bludgeon. They probably should have put Bludgeon there. That would have been better. Even if Bludgeon is a repaint, remold of Skullgrin, I don't care. That would have been more interesting, because, as I said before, we've only had 2, Junkions so far, and I'm pretty sure with the fossilizers, we had a lot of brand new figures, a lot of brand new fossilizers before they actually got to repainting them. They released 4 or 5, and then they started the repaints and the remolds, which I think was good. So hopefully they did actually tease that they will be making one more Junkion before the year is out, probably in wave 4 or maybe 5. I'm not really sure how many waves we're going to be getting. Hopefully that one's a new mold. Hopefully they don't just repaint Crash Bar or something like that. Hopefully that's a brand new mold. I'd really like to see that. So again, of course, putting my negativity aside, it is a good figure. Just I think the potential that they had here, I think they wasted. I think they wasted the opportunity and potential. So, of course, release date is August 1st. Price is $25. Still available for pre-order. I actually didn't buy this one. I was mostly focusing on the ones I really wanted. I will end up purchasing this one, but this is definitely not a priority purchase in my opinion. I do like the very odd shade of pinkish purple they used. Interesting enough, I actually kind of like this twist. This is a Decepticon, which I was not expecting. I was just already assuming when they mentioned Axlegrease in the past live stream, I was like, okay, it's going to be an Autobot, but apparently it's actually a Decepticon, which is pretty interesting. So the head sculpt is brand new. As you can see, the chest as well is brand new. I'm pretty sure the crotch and these top of the leg sections are also reused from Scraphook. And of course, the front of the truck or car, these sections here are reused as well. And some pieces of the legs, those are also reused. But these huge engine block pieces, those are brand new accessories. Which I have to admit, the engine block pieces, those look very cool. I have to admit, those look cool. And if you can see, of course, in the next picture, those smokestacks or those pipes, those are reused pieces from Scraphook. So there's some pieces here and there that they've reused, off and on, like the front of the car. Some pieces on the top of the car are brand new, but like the doors, these sections here, those are reused from Scraphook. Of course, I can't say or give a whole detailed look of what's new and not, because of course these are just images. I'll have to do a full in-depth comparison, once I get this figure in hand. That'll be a lot easier. Um, but we do have, of course, a close-up of the chest. Overall, looking pretty cool there. Um, and some more action poses. So she does come. Apparently, this is a she. That's what I've heard. She does come with some two really cool weapons. They're kind of blasters, and they actually store on the back here. I do really like this. So this is, of course, kind of a replacement of the whole crane hook piece. From Scraphook, he had that whole crane attachment on his back of the car, like the entire trailer hitch or the back section of the truck. They replaced that with these really cool like rocket boosters. I do like that. That's a pretty cool addition. I'm glad they added that. Interesting enough, though, they actually kept the hook but removed the entire crane piece. So I'm not really sure why they did that. That's a bit interesting in my opinion. But yeah. So there is some new accessories here and there, but there is some reused pieces, you can tell. It's a good figure. I do like it. Just not what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a brand new mold, or I actually strongly believe we were going to get a Voyager. That's what I thought. That's what I heard from several people and several news sites. I heard a Voyager, but maybe that was wrong information. Maybe it was inaccurate. I don't know. We do have the front of the box here. Overall, looking pretty cool. Of course, standard deluxe box with the really cool, monster truck, very Mad Max. We have the open web displaying the figure in packaging. And of course the back. She transforms in 17 steps, and of course the Evo Fusion gimmick is you can combine them with other Junkions such as Crash Bar or Scraphook, or you could get multiple and combine them all if you wanted to. And that is pretty much it for Axlegrease, and still in stock if you want to purchase that one. So let's actually move on to another repaint. I have to say, in my opinion, this is probably the more interesting figure over Axlegrease, which some people might think I'm crazy because that had some new molding pieces. This one doesn't. We actually have the Nemesis Leo Prime. This is another figure that they were like, yes, this is happening. I have to say, this actually looks pretty cool. I was a pretty big fan of Leo Prime. It's a good figure, a good Voyager. I had to say probably Tarn was the better Voyager of Wave 1. It's a bit of a messy, clunky figure, but I actually really do like this deco. I'm always down for like Nemesis versions. I actually really do hope we get a Nemesis version of Armada Optimus Prime, the Commander class. Maybe we'll get that in like the Shattered Glass. Maybe we'll get like a Shattered Glass deco of Armada Optimus Prime, or maybe they'll put it like an exclusive pack like Amazon or something, or a Selects line. I would be down for that. That would be pretty cool. Because, that actually happened in the show. There was a Nemesis version, or like an evil version of Armada Optimus Prime on that, weird planet. So, release date, of course, is August 1st. Price is $35. Still in stock. So, detail-wise, of course, no new molding pieces, but I do like the deco. Really nice kind of grayish silver, and there's actually some really nice brown. It's a pretty interesting deco, but I do like it. I do like the really nice blue for the eyes, really pops. The kind of silverish gray for the bow mask and the face. Overall, I do quite like this deco. I also do like the metallic silverish blue they use for the toenails. That actually looks really nice. The claws, if you would like to say. I also do like how they actually fix the eyes. It's better. This is an improvement over the Leo Prime. I will admit, this is an improvement. It still looks a bit odd to me, but I think it works. It is an improvement. I'm actually really glad, because they could have easily gone the cheap route, just kept the whole same eye problem. They could have just, ignored what we were saying and just redid the same thing over again with the eyes, but they actually improved, which is pretty cool to see. And actually, do let me know what you think of these new improved eyes. Do you think it's better, or are you like me, where it's a bit weird to me? I think it is improvements, but I think they could have done a little bit better. But of course, moving on to some other images. Overall, looking pretty cool. So I think it does come with a new accessory. So I'm pretty sure it does come with those, same pistols, the same, mini pistols, the 4 pistols you can store on the lion head, like his Evo Fusion gimmick. But he also does include this new weapon right there. I'm unsure if he comes with any more Of course, there's very brief pictures here, and sometimes they cover up the accessories. But from what I can tell, it's those same 4 little pistols and this brand new kind of triple-barreled blaster, which I think is pretty cool. I actually like the color they use. It's kind of dark brown black color. It's pretty interesting, but I like it. Um, and then, of course, just some more battle poses. We have him in his lion mode there, looking very cool, ready to pounce. And then, of course, some more battle poses here, which overall looks very cool in my opinion. We have a really nice shot of him in his lion mode, looking awesome. And on the back, he transforms to 35 steps. And it's the same Evo Fusion gimmick. Sorry, I can't speak. Same Evo Fusion gimmick as Leo Prime. So of course those kind of fold out blades, and then we have the whole weaponized lion head. Where you can attach every single weapon on there and just weaponize them like crazy. So this actually looks promising. In my opinion, this is my opinion. I think this is a more interesting figure than the Axlegrease. That's just my opinion. I'm always down for a really good, Nemesis or Evil repaint. That's just my opinion, but really like that. And that one's still available for pre-order if you want to pick that one up. So we're actually moving on to some really interesting figures. I'm actually going to discuss the package refresh. So this is the Legacy Evolution Dirge. So I probably won't be buying this because I actually already do have the Earthrise Dirge. I have no problems with it. I'm pretty sure there is no new molding, no new accessories. I think it's literally the exact same thing. So if you are never able to get that exclusive figure, you have a perfect opportunity here, which I'm actually really glad. I think this is really good. I do have to say, though, they kind of went cheap on the Voyagers in this wave because, one of them is a package refresh from just a few years ago, and another is a repaint. Don't get me wrong, I like the Nemesis Leo Prime. It's really cool, but I think they could have included, like a brand new mold. Of course, if you're going into this now, like if you're just started collecting, if you didn't get any of Earthrise or any of Siege or Kingdom, then, this is a brand new figure to you. This is, really exciting and cool. But for, I think, the more up-to-date collectors who've been collecting for a while, to me especially, this seems a bit cheap. I think personally they probably should have done like 3 Voyagers. They should have done, the package refresh Dirge, the Nemesis Prime, Nemesis Leo Prime, and then maybe a brand new mold. I'm not sure what specific figure they have planned for wave 4 or 5, but I think they should have done that. I think they went a little bit cheap with the Voyagers. That's just my opinion. But I do like this option. I'm not going to talk about this that much because I've actually already reviewed this on my channel. It wasn't that good of a review. I actually reviewed this figure at the start of my channel, so of course camera quality was bad. I wasn't nearly as good as speaking. Lighting was bad, so please actually do let me know in the comment section down below if you want me to re-review this figure, just because they, put this out. If you want to see this figure in a new updated review with my, new lighting display and my new camera, I would be glad to, because I actually recently watched my review for this. It was a while ago and it wasn't that good. So by all means, if you want to see another review of this, a re-review of the, if you want to see a re-review of all the cone heads, I would be glad to. And that's probably where this will likely lead. They'll probably repack, package refresh, Thrust, and Ramjet as well, most likely. So if you missed those figures, you can get them, because unfortunately, actually, all of the cone heads were exclusive. So Dirge was packed with Ramjet, that was the Amazon exclusive, and Thrust was a Target exclusive, and that one is impossible to find. I was very happy to actually able to get all 3 of them. It wasn't easy. So of course we have the leader class figure, which I have to say this looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I still cannot get over they did 2 Armada figures in the same wave. I think that's just so awesome. We have the Armada, leader class Megatron, and then we have the commander class Armada Optimus Prime, which I think is just so awesome. So here we have Megatron, and this is actually really exciting because we had no leaked images, no stolen copies, no videos that we got into this, brand new, no other images, so we were pretty much going in blind. So of course, release date is August 1st, 2023. Price is $55, standard price for a leader class figure. Still available, surprisingly. I thought this was going to be gone immediately. I think this looks very, very promising. So I've actually never owned an Armada Megatron. I've actually never owned many Armada figures, so this is new territory for me, and I quite like the Armada show. I think this looks pretty cool. Of course, Armada Megatron is not my favorite design of Megatron, but I do quite like it. Of course, they have the huge, horns or tusks sticking out. We have the huge treads sticking out as well. It does appear he has wheels, which is pretty nice to see, because unfortunately sometimes they don't do that. We do have the tank mode, which I think looks really nice as well. The huge barrel, and of course another turret here as well. Unsure if those are actually shooting missiles, shooting pieces. I'm not sure about that as well. Um, a close-up of the head sculpt, I think that looks really awesome, very accurate. Love the gunmetal gray, the silver, and again the treads. I love all the details on the stomach and the crotch there. Just overall, just looking absolutely amazing. So he does come with this little pipe or barrel piece that appears probably it's removable from the cannon, from the tank mode. So you can probably attach that there. Um, Unfortunately, it does not appear he comes with a Minicon or Star Saber. I know a lot of people were hoping he would include with a better one, because Starscream came with one. People were like, "Oh, it's not that good." I think it was an okay accessory. I think it does make sense that Starscream came with it. If not Starscream, I think it could have come with Hot Shots. But Megatron, I know he had it a few times in the show, but he really wasn't the #1 main user. I think it was either Starscream or Hot Shots. So yes, it would have been nice if we could have gotten another one, maybe a different deco or color scheme, but I really wasn't expecting it. I wasn't putting my hopes on it. And of course, he can do his, super weapon mode. I forget what it's called. I don't know if there's a technical term for it. But you can do that, which is really cool, and it's actually super cool. It almost works like the show. You actually lift up the entire, top portion, the torso, and then you spin the tank turret around to the chest. It looks very similar to the toy and the show itself, which I think is really nice. Also, they did mention, you don't quote me on this, but they did mention there's like more possibilities for this. When they showed this feature on the screen, they said there's a lot of possibilities, or they said like options for this feature. So this might mean we might be getting a tidal wave. I think that would be really cool to do that, because of course in the show he would actually have this turret section forward, and then tidal wave would attach onto his back, and it would be like a separate jetpack. So if they make a tidal wave, I would absolutely lose it. That would be so freaking amazing. Most likely, if they do make a tidal wave, it'll be a commander class or possibly a leader, but it'll have to be a very, very big leader. So hopefully, maybe we'll get a tidal wave. Probably, if you're like surprised or excited by the words I'm gonna say, I would not expect it to be this year. I would expect probably in the next part of this trilogy. I'm not really sure what the next part is going to be called. It might just be like Legacy Evolution 2 or something. We don't know yet. So I would love to see that. That would be awesome. I'm really hoping. This probably what it means is if we get a tidal wave for Megatron, probably we're going to get a Jetfire for Armada Optimus Prime to do the whole power link combination thing. So definitely a lot of possibilities for these two figures. For Optimus and Megatron, there is like 3 or 4 more figures they can make. They can make a Nemesis Armada Optimus Prime, they can make a Jetfire, they can make a Tidal Wave, they can make their mini-cons. So many options, so many possibilities. So hopefully they actually take this potential. There's so many options to do. And the tank mode, sorry, I've been distracted by so many ideas, but the tank mode looks good. Not my favorite Megatron tank, but it looks good. Of course, I typically display my figures in the robot mode anyway, and I think the robot mode looks very, very solid. And we do have the packaging, which I always love. The leader class packaging, they do an amazing job with them. The huge tank, Megatron. We have the Armada Universe Megatron. That's so cool to see. And then, of course, in the back, he transforms in 23 steps. His Evo Fusion gimmick is, of course, the entire, rotating turret thing, which I think is pretty cool. I'm actually wondering if the thing can spin, because I'm pretty sure in the series several times, that entire thing would actually spin on his chest. So, not sure if that's a feature. We'll have to wait and see about that. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for images for Megatron. And I think that's pretty much it for Legacy Evolution Wave 3. So I'm just gonna kind of recap. So we got Megatron, which I think is pretty cool. We got 2 more core class Dinobots. We got Beachcomber. We have unfortunately Voyager. I think was pretty weak in this. This wave was pretty weak with the Voyagers because we got a repaint of Leo Prime, the Nemesis Leo Prime. It's a good deco. I think it's a good figure, but I think they had a lot of potential to do some more interesting figures. Then of course we got a package refresh of Dirge. No, nothing against package refreshes, especially with this figure, because it was an Amazon exclusive. If you look on eBay right now for Dirge, it's probably like $150 to get that Amazon set. So I'm really glad it gives options for people who aren't able to get it. But I think they probably should have done 3 Voyagers. I think they should have done, the 2 package refreshes or the 2 repaints and Dirge and Nemesis Leo Prime. and a brand new Voyager because, as it is, it's a bit lazy and cheap. But deluxe wise, I'm very happy with DevCon and Beachcomber. Axlegrease, it's okay. It's okay. But overall, I think it's a pretty promising wave. Of course, this is 100% not the complete wave. We still have the Commander class and the Titan class to come. So I'm going to repeat that information again, just in case you missed it. So what Hasbro said, I'm just repeating what they said. So do not quote me on this. This is what Hasbro said. I'm just repeating what they did. They said the release date for Armada Optimus Prime, the Commander class figure, the pre-order date is going to be the 18th of April, which is 2 weeks from today, Tuesday. And of course, the Titan class Nemesis ship will be May. They just said May. They didn't say like early May, mid-May, late May. They just said May. So I'm assuming probably we'll most likely get like a live stream in May. Mostly based, if you're a Stu Series fan, please listen up. This is my theory. Probably we'll get like a more Stu Series based live stream in May, because as you can tell, there was no Stu Series reveals in this live stream. So probably in May we're going to get like a whole Stu Series live stream, and then we'll just get that reveal of the Titan class at the end. It'll just be the one Legacy Evolution figure. A possible theory, I could be 100% incorrect. I don't know. Of course, let me know your thoughts on this wave. And these figures in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me with the Voyagers? It was kind of weak. I don't know. I may be a little bit picky. One more thing before I end off the video. Hopefully this wasn't too long for you guys. But they also did show and mention the War Dawn 2-pack. I did do a news video and theory video on that a couple weeks ago. They did mention that as well. They also said May for that as well. They did not say a release date. They just said May. So most likely, whenever we get the Titan class Nemesis, probably will be also at the same time we get the War Dawn 2-pack. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. I really do hope you enjoyed this news video. Of course, let me know your thoughts on all these figures in the comment section down below. Will you be getting any of these? And of course, which ones are you most excited for? Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.